Hi everyone, it's Sue with Ully Cat's Designs and Ully Cat's World blog, and I'm here today with a video for Karen Burniston's July 2026 new release. And the new release theme is summertime, and we're going to start by making a wedding gazebo pop-up card. And I'm going to be doing this in two videos. One will focus on the making of the bride and groom, and this video will focus on how we make the gazebo. So we'll be using from the new release the Gazebo Stage add-ons, which adds the roof and the railing and the posts, and that works with the Stage pop-up, which came out earlier this year. And then we're going to be taking some of the foliage dies from the new Little Bench pop-up. And I specifically like this vine. We'll be using a lot of that. So I've cut all of my basic pieces. From the gazebo set, I've cut 2 of the roof pieces, I've cut 4 of the post pieces, and I've cut 2 of the railing pieces. And from the Stage pop-up set, I've cut 2 of the base pieces, 2 of the side pieces, and 6 of the label pieces that go on the side pieces, as well as 2 of the decorator dies in this cream color and 2 of the decorator dies in the white, one of which I've stamped a sentiment on. I've also cut 2 of the L brackets from the Stage pop-up set, one in white for the bride and one in black for the groom. I'm going to start by gluing tab piece together, and then since I know this will be in the center, I have to decide which one will be my card front, either this section or this one. So we're just going to arbitrarily make it that side. I'll just glue on the rest of these. Next I'm going to take the pillar pieces, and if you can see, there's 2 sides that have a wood grain and one that is a plain side. And so what Karen recommends is taking a straight edge, lining it up with the score mark on the plain piece side and folding it. And then you can glue that piece down. And if you want, take a bone folder to it to make it nice and thick. Now I'm not going to glue the other side yet because that's what we're going to use to glue on the roof pieces. So for the roof pieces, I took 2 shades of gray markers, a 1 neutral gray and a 3 neutral gray, and just colored the roof pieces, but I left the scalloped edges white just because I thought that would add a little interest. And the way Karen recommends to glue your 4 posts on is to put a little glue at the top, and then from the front, line up that top edge with the open edge of the piece. And if you're like me, the glue just kind of squirts through, and then you can glue shut your posts. So again, a little glue at the top, line it up with the edge, you can see, give it a good squeeze, and then glue that side piece together. I'm going to put some paperweights on those. And then we'll do our next side. Next we'll glue on our decorator pieces. And I usually just designate whatever side is closest to this tab as the top. I'm going to leave my white pieces, which will go on the bottom, until last, just so they'll stay clean. We've trained our folds. And we'll glue our stage bottom pieces together. So an easy way to do that is to fold the tab down and just push that down. And make sure that it folds evenly all the way across. And we'll do the same with our next side. So there's our 2 sides. Now, we do need to put our little tabs in. But I need to get our people before I glue those in so I'll know spacing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my mat so that the top of her hair is on that line, his is there. They're basically centered. So now what I'm going to do, put glue on there. I suppose I could have shortened her legs a little bit to make her shorter. Center this like that. We'll trim off our excess. And now we'll glue these two platforms together. I don't want to make these L strips too thick because then you end up with a problem getting your side bands to go around. So there are bride and groom in the platform of the gazebo. Now, anytime I add something in the middle like that, I don't glue the band, the side band, all the way together until I've fitted it. Because invariably, if you don't, you end up getting your platform to buckle because it's too tight. I'm going to try what Karen says to do, which is leave your belly band on. Just raise that up. And there's our base for our platform. Now we're going to take these two railing pieces and we're going to fold them in half. There supposedly is a score mark. My eyes don't let me see it. And since I also use textured cardstock, I don't know that I will. But these are going to get glued just like that. So we'll put some glue right along that edge. Now I think Karen said she thought it was better to do this while the side pieces were still flat. I forgot. But this does seem to work. So let that one set up. And we'll glue on this other side. So it's coming together. From the little bench pop-up, I've taken this vine and its little flowers, and that's what's going to be our decoration for the piece. When you emboss the vines, they give you little indentations, and I've just taken a fine tip green marker and just highlighted those, which give it a little bit of some extra detail. Now, we had a little oops when I glued it. Somehow that got glued down, so be careful with that. What we're going to do, these vine pieces are designed to wind around the pillars, so you're just kind of weaving them around. And you can glue the back. Right there. And even though I started this one out stuck through there, it doesn't always want to stay in there. So what I've been doing is just adding a tiny bit of glue right at the top, so that the top of the vine is glued. And for this side, you can stick it through that one. Again, just winding it around. And it will be a little bit different than the other side. We might actually put that piece there. And then we'll have those two glued. Now you do want to make sure when you poke those through that you can have it go flat. So double check. So the next step will be to glue the roof together. The two sections, they each have a tab. They go under the other side. And then once you have your roof glued together, you're going to put glue right along the bottom part of your posts to glue onto the stage base. And you can put glue behind the post to also catch the railing. And after that, I added my flowers, which are, again, they're from the Little Bench pop-up set. And I added some resin drops. I think mine are pops of color, just to give them that little pop. I also took two other vines that I cut and added them to the base, largely so we've got a little bit more color to this gazebo. And then the last thing I did was I glued on our white panels. And those are easiest done if you do it in the flat position and then just line up the edge with the edge. And our sentiments come from the stamp sets. The congrats is from the season stamp set, and it actually said congrats to you. You could do this one of two ways. One, you could cut your stamp, but if you don't like cutting your stamps, you could also take, which is what I did, I put tape over the to you before I inked the stamp so that I wouldn't get ink on that. And then I went ahead and stamped the panel. And the bottom, love is the secret ingredient, seems like a good wedding card sentiment, is from the new Sweet Life sayings. The pop-up will fit into a 9x6 catalog envelope. And I've just decorated it by cutting out congratulations. And that's the word set 17, congratulations. And then for these kind of pop-ups that might be kind of, they're not really rectangular, I take a pretty piece of cardstock, or sometimes just a plain piece of cardstock, fold it in half. So that's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And then with this folded up, I put the roof side in first, because that's the thinnest part, especially if I have to mail this card. And you can see it all fits. Here you can see the bride and groom. And there's our cute little wedding gazebo. I hope you got some inspiration from this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.